As funding football and the vehicle for brands that the game provides is coming to sharp focus in South Africa and abroad, Supersport United yesterday announced a partnership with a local fintech company, iKhokha. I chatted to Supersport CEO Stan Matthews about the new long-term sleeve sponsor.
From the start of the season, we went back into the market as a football club to try and improve our financial sustainability. Obviously, the two biggest spaces on a first-team jersey in professional football is the front of shirt sponsorship, which we launched last year with Johnson's Workwear. And then the other space that was available on our kit is the sleeve. So we were looking for sleeve partners for a few months already. We've been speaking to a few companies. iKhokha made a lot of sense for us just in terms of the brand value synergy that we have. They're a young company, just 11 years old, as a fintech company, and wanting to make a big difference to small and medium business enterprises by providing fast and secure payment solutions. They want to make an impact into the market, and they wanted to use sports as a vehicle to do so. So from our point of view, we're a young football club. We try and punch above our weight. We also try to do things a little bit differently, Matasansa style. And, we liked what we saw in iKhokha. They think differently. They're young, funky guys. They bring a different mindset in terms of how they see sponsorships, adding value to communities. For example, on Saturday, we're playing Cape Town City at home. iKhokha will be empowering all the informal vendors around our stadium with iKhokha machines.
When you say that there was a drive this season to ensure that the club is more financially sustainable, was the club financially in trouble?
It's not about being in trouble. It's about balancing budgets. Since COVID, costs have spiraled dramatically in many, many ways. Small example. The requirements to have a backup generator at the stadium, irrespective of load shedding, that adds a 200,000 rand per match expense line item that was never there for any PSL club before. But if you don't want to lose the points and there happens to be load shedding in your area at an inopportune time, the rules require us to have a backup generator. That's just one small example. Transport costs, for example, and fuel price hikes have meant that staff and support staff, whether it's security guards and ushers at games and all the other things, costs have risen substantially. So just to keep pace with the market, we've had to go in there. And let's not forget that I've lost 3 or 4 players over the past 3 seasons in terms of kind of forced sales to balance out our numbers because, over COVID, we lost our front of shirt sponsor, which was NGen for 6 years. We lost our academy sponsor, Pumelelo, of 19 years. It was a tough time for us and for everybody in the football industry. So you've got a loss of income on the one hand, you've got rising costs on the other hand. And as football clubs, when we commit to players for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, those costs are locked in. You can't turn around to a player and say, hey, you haven't been playing for the team for the last 2 years, so, I'm reducing your salary. Those costs are tied in. So, football clubs have to be mindful and cognizant of their financial sustainability. So it's not about being in trouble. It's about performing to optimum, about not wanting to lose our best players, not having to sell our best players every 12 to 18 months, to keep the club going. Now we've got an opportunity to actually retain some of our players and have some stability. We're very proud as a football club. We've finished top 8 in the league 22 years in a row. It's a record in South African football.
Your stipend that you get from the Premiership, has there been discussions around increasing the stipend?
Yeah, of course. All clubs would like to see the grants go up, but the PSL has its funding model, one of the most enterprising, unique and amazing funding models in the world, and certainly on the African continent. There's no other league in the African continent where clubs are getting the amount of monthly grants that we as clubs in the PSL get. So we get a fantastic head start from the league. And I think all of us are very appreciative of the way that the PSL has been run, certainly in the last 15 years, to help clubs have a strong basic funding model. But it's also incumbent upon each of us to go out and take it to the next level in terms of what we as clubs can offer, and not piggybacking a very strong PSL brand. And we've seen in the past year or two, clubs like AmaZulu and Cape Town City, for example, be very, very enterprising in terms of their approach to sponsorship, securing sponsors, bringing other partners on board, being enterprising in their social media, being enterprising in their youth academy, bringing in former players to work with the youth, doing things that we think are really positive within the South African football fraternity.
The finances of different clubs have come sharply into focus.
Chelsea have spent £800 million in the past 2.5, 3 seasons. I'm not sure they've won a trophy yet. So, money doesn't always translate into success. And of course, Sundowns have got a big head start over all of us because they're able to amass a squad of 35 unbelievably good footballers that any 11 that they put out are really, really strong footballers. So over 30 games, they are a club that can win 10, 11, 12 games on the trot like Manchester City. Whereas for the rest of us, we will have the dips in consistency because we don't have the depth in squad. But I think it's reckless in a small way to start reacting to a situation because Mamelodi Sundowns have been successful to win the league 5 years in a row. It hasn't only been about money. They're doing a lot of fantastic things right. They're paying a lot of attention to detail in their football club in terms of data, technology, scouting, research, analysis, youth academy, women's football. They're a progressive football club. Yes, they've got the means and the backing, and good luck to them for doing it. For me as a football club, I can't speak for other football clubs. For me as a football club, I find Mamelodi Sundowns inspiring. And as much as we know we can't match that, and we don't want to match that, we don't have an aspiration to match that. And if that means this year I'm chasing second, or I'm chasing third, or I'm chasing fourth, or I'm chasing fifth, it doesn't impact me because I have to stay focused about where are we as a football club. I can't try and be a Mamelodi Sundown. I can't try and be a Kaizer Chiefs or an Orlando Pirates.